to Rick's Corner. There's a subject that I want to touch on. I've touched on almost, well, not everything yet. There's a whole lot of things I still want to touch on. But one of the things is layoffs, because so many of us are guilty from not taking layoffs in training. And I'm a big abuser of that. I always feel if I train more, it's better, and I don't need layoffs. If I take a day off, I feel like I'm falling behind. And it's the farthest thing from the truth, but it's the hardest thing in the world to do. When you take time off, and you take a day off even, you feel, oh my God, my body's turning to fat, I'm falling apart, I lost my muscle pump, and all the above. And that's not really true. What's happening is your body is recovering. That's the time that it grows. So many people think that when you're training, you're tearing down muscle, that you're actually building it up at the time, but in reality, you're tearing it down. You're tearing down those fibers, you're breaking them down, and you're destroying them so that you can get blood into them to rebuild them to a bigger level. So overtraining, for example, which we've talked about, or I haven't really gotten into a whole lot about, but when you're in the gym and you're training, you're stimulating the muscle into growth. You're pulling blood into it, and you're trying to get it to grow, you're trying to get it to respond. If you go beyond that point, you end up killing it, and it takes longer to recover. So time off is really important, and it's also important that when you have the time off that you eat right and that you sleep, because that's the time your body's rebuilding. When you go to the gym in the morning, or if you go in the afternoon, nighttime, when you recover, when you relax, you should be having your protein supplements, you should be having your vitamins, you should be having all those things that go into your body to help it rebuild, because that 8 hours of sleep is when it rebuilds. Now, on the weekends, there's a lot of people who take the junk days like we did 2 years ago. Last night I went to a birthday party. I eat on the money all the time, but at the party, it was a kid's party, and they had pizza, salad, and birthday cake, which I had. And I made a point of going over to the mall near my house ahead of time and having 4 scoops of tuna fish before I went, because I knew I wasn't going to get the protein at my meal. I knew that it wasn't going to happen, and I had to have it because I trained legs. So I ate that, and of course I felt lousy afterwards that I did, but it's for my grandson, and I felt it's the right thing to do, just to be a participant and be there. And then I came home and had a huge protein drink to try to make up for it. And then today I'm right on the money again. But I had a hard leg workout, and I was tired. And I came home, and I slept good all night, and I got up this morning, I was still tired. I took the day off from training. It's a Sunday. I don't need to train on a Sunday. Sometimes I go in on a Sunday just out of a fluke, and I have the best workouts possible. But when your body's tired and it's screaming for rest, you got to take that rest. One time I took off and I went to Hawaii for a week. A whole week. I didn't train. I ate at the smorgasbords. I laid in the sun. I felt I was falling apart, that everything was losing on me, but in reality, I came back that Friday, and I had a wrestling show that night, and I showed up in the arena, and someone said to me, "What the hell have you been doing all week? You look unbelievably ripped and big." I said, "You got to be kidding. I took a whole week off." "Well, whatever you did worked." Well, it was the week off. It was the time my muscles got to catch up with themselves and to grow and to feel full again. Now, I wouldn't take 2 weeks. I know people take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then they have a hard time coming back because they get weak. They can't, they just don't respond like they did. It's really mental more than anything, because in 3 days you come back again. But that week off does help. It really helps. You have to do this every once in a while, every couple of months. Just take a week off. Now, I'm guilty of not doing that. And I'm the biggest, probably, abuser when it comes to that, because I figure I get up in the morning, I go to the gym. It's like my job, because that gets me out in the world. And what am I going to do if I don't go to the gym that morning? What will I do with my time? Well, I certainly don't want to sit home and vegetate. I got to get out of the house, and the gym's what brings me out. So maybe in that vein, I'll go do cardio or something. Maybe I'll go to Starbucks, just kill the morning, and then do what I have to do after that. But the time off is so necessary, and you really need to do it. When I was on the road wrestling, there was times when I couldn't train. I used to take like elastic bands into hotels with me and work off the doors and do my crunches and all that. And it actually kept me in pretty decent shape. In fact, I think I actually even grew on it a little bit, because I wasn't hitting the weights as much. Then I drove cross country and came home. It took me a week. I remember going back in the Gold's Gym the next day, that afternoon, and training arms. I had a pump that I've never had before like this, just because I had a week off. I couldn't even bend my arms. Now, I know when I train now, day after day after day after day, I don't get a pump like I used to, because I'm training every day. My enthusiasm isn't there because I'm training every day. My body hurts. I'm tired. I don't feel like training. I'm kind of tired. I feel listless. That's probably overtraining at my age. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe 6 days a week is too much. I know that in the past, when I first started training years ago, the criteria for bodybuilding was to train each muscle 3 days a week, and that's what I did. I think we did 9 sets of body part, which was a lot, 3 times a week, and I grew on it. Upper body one day, lower body the next, upper body one day, lower body the next, and then I split it up a little bit. It was still 3 times a week on each body part. Then when I moved down to Gold's and I started training in Venice, the criteria was to train each body part twice a week. Well, that was a lot easier on me. and I didn't have to kill it as much. And I trained with Bill Grant, and we cut our workouts back to 4 days a week because he didn't want to show up all the time. So it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, or Thursday, Friday off, Saturday, Sunday train. So it was 4 days a week. I made my best gains on that 4 days a week. It was less training, but I grew more. And that's because I had the time off. The layoffs were really important. Now, if you're on the juice and you're taking steroids, it's a little bit different because it helps you recover quicker, and it does its job. But if you're not taking anything, then you need more time off because your body isn't going to respond as quickly, and it needs that rest. So I would suggest to all of you out there to take time off from your training every once in a while. And when you go off, don't go crazy on your diet. Still keep your supplements, keep your protein high, eat as though you were training all the time, because that's when you're feeding your body to make it grow. And there's a lot of misconceptions about this. So many people want to know, how many days a week should I train? Should I train harder? Should I lift heavier? Should I train more reps? Mix it up. I always mix it up. I was a powerlifter, so I'd go heavy, maybe a couple of days a week. And then I'd lighten up and do reps towards the end of the week. You have to find out where your body is and where it actually adjusts and how it adapts to your training. But the time off is important. I know it's hard to do. It's hard to miss a workout. It's addictive. But if you take the time off, you'll see a lot more benefits in your body. You'll see a lot more muscle coming on, and you'll see a lot less body fat too because you're training properly. There was a time in 2001 when I tore both quads off my legs and I was in a wheelchair. I went to the gym every day in a wheelchair, and then a walker, and then a cane, and then I was back to a walker because I had a staph infection in my leg, and I couldn't train legs the whole time. So what I did was I alternated my upper body every other day, or actually every day. I'd do a couple of things here and there, a couple of things here and there, but not a whole lot, and I grew because I wasn't going heavy. I was just doing stimulation. When I went back to do legs, they responded right away. So this is about layoffs. Take your layoffs, schedule them out. Do your training, do 6 weeks, then take 3 or 4 days off. Then go back to your 6-week training again, take 3 or 4 days off. You may not want to take a whole week, but at least a half a week. And see how you like it. And if it works for you, then you can schedule that in as you move down the road into your training and take a couple of days here and there, or take a weekend off. You'll get a lot more out of it. And that's Rick's Corner on layoffs. And remember these words because they're very important. Train hard and rest hard. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, on bodybuilding.com, we have the original Gold's Gym t-shirt that I designed in 1973. This is the original design, now selling on bodybuilding.com with my signature right there. You need to order one, or actually order 2. Put one away in a plastic bag, wear the other one, because it's going to be worth a lot of money one day, because it's a retro item, it's a classic, there's one of a kind, and it only has my signature, and that's on bodybuilding.com. Search for it and buy it. I think it's like $15. You can't go wrong. It comes in colors too. All right, I hope I gave you the point of the day on what to do for your training. Don't forget the Gold's Gym original t-shirt with my signature, and have a great workout. Think big.